Get one colour at the end.
Yellow. Who's in the middle?
Who's there?
Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from S10 Gamers, and welcome back to a little bit more Airsoft action. This time, I'm taking a bolt action rifle into a CQB environment. A little bit crazy, but I think it's all part of the challenge. And the first thing I want to do now is clear this staircase and get downstairs. That's 2 enemy players taken out by the grenade, and the Enfield's not going to be able to fit through that gap there, so I'm going to pull the sidearm out and do what they don't expect us to do, push down the staircase towards them. So I'm going to catch one player off guard on this corner, 2 shots into him, keep moving down the stairs, and since I'm in a situation now where they're not expecting us to come down, I'm going to catch more and more players off guard, give them less time to react. Another enemy player in the back, he thinks he's being shot by a teammate. His friend tries to corner on me, and I clip him with a pistol. Now the only way I'm going to be able to progress into that next room is to frag it, get them enemies out of there, and then push down as soon as it bangs. Grenade goes in. The plan is just to lightly check the right side and then push around left where I saw the guy getting revived up. Grenade's off. Checking right briefly, checking left. Marshall scares me a little bit. Push around left and the grenade comes out. I take the guy on the right and the guy on the left decides to surrender. If he would have shot me, the rifle was still being bolted. And the most amazing part about that, the grenade went off in the room behind me and I survived the little engagement, clearing the bottom floor of the building. Now what I've got to do is get back up to the top, inform my teammates of what's happened, and inform them that staircase is clear as well. On the way back up, I have one more player to take out, and I get shot in the back by teammates on the upper story. Not their fault though, I was in a bit of a strange position. But luckily enough, I got picked up by teammates and I was able to get back upstairs.
We've got some friendlies upstairs. I don't know about the staircase.
Now, in this next little engagement, the enemy team had to escort an ambulance around the site to various different buildings. Luckily, we managed to stop the ambulance right in front of the building, and a guy opened up the side door, allowing me to get these really crispy shots in people that were hiding on the inside. You just hear the players screaming inside as I hit 1 or 2 of them. I tried to line up a last shot with a moving player inside. Not too sure if I hit him, but I think I did. And now they're going to close the door. There we go, the door's closed. I can't get any more of them. But they're breaching the building at the same time. And our teammates end up shooting each other. Moving on to the next scenario, we've done a plan on getting back to that building. And this is one of those situations where I start with the team and end up by myself. That tends to happen quite a lot. So as soon as the plan kind of shit at the fan situation, I decided to take cover into this building and flank around. The rest of my teammates stayed in the open and give suppressing fire. Now the Enfield was extremely scary to use in a number of these buildings. It was too long, you had to be very fast on your feet, and it was just difficult. It was a challenge, but I liked it. I really liked it a lot. Now moving a little bit further down this tree line, I can see the enemy players crossing into the pub building on that side. We've got some guys in the tree line close to me as well, so I can't engage them without being detected. We've got a friendly teammate that's down on the left here. Now the problem is I don't tend to revive people unless I can work out who exactly shot them. But I just kind of felt really bad for this guy and decided to try to get him back into the fight. Enemy players passing by. Can't engage with this bolt action, sadly. We're going to count him back in.
1, 2, 3. So the guys go past me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I got hit on the 10th count. Now the other enemy player is actually shredded. And what's really cool about this is our respawn's only across the way, so he runs over there and runs back and gets me back into the fight. And I was extremely happy with this. He was just a really nice guy to sort me out like that, not leave me hanging after I got him back up.
That guy.
So he gets me back into the fight. We engage into the trees, and now we just need to make a rush for the pub building, so the embassy building. The plan at this time kind of gone out the window. I'm just trying to get away from this frontline position as fast as possible so I can get on the flank and start shooting people in the back. Now this is a little bit of a horrible moment. The floor's pretty wet. I catch an enemy player out the corner of my eye at this window, and I slip. Managed to get back up and shoot him.
You got it? You dead?
Looks like our teammates didn't make it quite through. I'm on my own again. Now, with not much happening in the last 2 buildings, I managed to push around the lower area of the map. Since there's no sort of action or gameplay going on in this area, it allows me to use it as a flanking route to get behind the enemies into the position that I was at before, where I was engaging the ambulance. I And by doing this, I slowly creep up on the tree line. You can see on the map there, I'm heading into D4, and I can start shooting people in the back, where the Lee Enfield kind of comes into its own in that department. It's super quiet and near impossible to hear when you're being shot at. Expecting an enemy player here. Take him out. Fire 2 shots just to make sure. And then I need to hop inside here, and this is where the trouble is going to start to happen. Sounds of the building echo around me. The Lee Enfield itself, every time you bolt it, it echoes and it just sounds beautiful. Then I get upstairs, get that vantage point. The enemy respawn is down at the end of this road, so this will be their main sort of reinforcement route when they're coming back into their fight. And if I can starve them just of a few players, it'll mean that there'll be less guys fighting up front of the ambulance. Give our guys a chance to capture it. Sounds quite quiet. There's no one around. I just need to find the right window to start wreaking some havoc on these guys. This room on the right should do me well. It overlooks the road and the field. So 2 areas where I can pick players off quite easily. Floor's slippy. I can hear a lot of gunfire coming from the window ahead now. That's a second staircase that I need to be aware of. An enemy player that's out of range of our team on the other side of the field, but not out of range of me behind. And at this moment, they don't know where these rounds are coming from. All they can hear is the hits. People shouting hit, people taking it, looking around, puzzled. I'm going to try to relocate after each shot. Looking across the large field, some more targets. I can see another 2 coming down. There's some dead players walking back. Well, that guy there is very much alive. I missed the first shot. Adjust for the wind on the second and take him out. Check the back to make sure there's no one there to pick off as well. And now I just need to start inflicting more and more casualties and slowly bringing them back to this rear position of the map. Clearing as I go. Trying to be as aware as possible. It's very easy to get tunnel vision down the iron sights. Kneecap that player. Now they're starting to figure out where exactly I am, but at the same time they're still very confused. There's no AG fire, there's no automatic fire going on. So what exactly is happening? Where are people getting shot from? Now pushing back to this side of the building, I'm just making sure this staircase is clear. I can't hear any movement coming up. I'm just listening. Relocate to this other window that gives me another view of the road. Now far away on the other side of that field is the respawn point, so I'm not going to shoot into there. I'm just going to check to the left here where we've got players coming up the road, and these guys are still trying to plan how they're going to attack. Completely unaware of what's going on. Bolt 2 of them, and a third one was just completely unaware. They can't hear the rifle going off. It's just so silent. I think this is one of the advantages of this Lee Enfield. The silence of it allows you to take out multiple people before they even become aware of what's going on. So with 2 downstairs there, they don't actually quite know that it came from this building, so they decide to take cover in the bottom floor, and we're going to bump into them a little bit later. Now, do you remember that player that was shot in the back before when we were running across the open area? That's him. He's come back for a little bit of vengeance, and he has a weapon that is capable of more shots than mine, so I can't win in an outright fight. I'm going to have to outplay him some way here. So I'll keep relocating between 2 windows to keep him guessing. So which door am I going to pop up at? I also prep a grenade to try to force him back in. So to force him in there, I might be able to get the Lee Enfield out around the corner. That pushes him around the corner. I'm going to pull the pistol, but it disgasses, and he's not standing there. If the pistol would have held its gas, and I would have held that corner, waited for him to pop around and taken him out. Now the Mobius has fallen off, and everything is going to shit. It's not looking too good for me here. Fire a shot off just to make sure there's one loaded. And the plan here is I'm just going to disengage from this firefight. It's a fight that I'm struggling to win. So I could alternatively push down left and try to get him in the back. But I think I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to go back down the staircase and take out some more players from behind. You really have to be able to think on your feet to use this weapon in this sort of environment. You can't have that multiple follow-up shots if you do a reaction shot. You can hear him talking, peeking around, looking at the shadows at the door. They're not aware I'm here. I'm pretty confident about that. So I'm trying not to kick too many pellets that come down the stairs. And here's the first target. Bolted. These guys haven't heard the actual rifle go off, so I managed to take out 3 before anything happens, and the third one takes me out. A beautiful little bit of fun, very sneaky, but at the same time the Lee Enfield really did come into its own. So I just want to take a break from the action to actually have a look at the rifle itself. It's quite a rare bit of kit. This is actually a shoot and scoot Lee Enfield. Inside is an M70 sniper rifle, and the wood and the actual mechanism has been modified to actually fire. The rifle itself, not too reliable, but I think this is going to make for some rather interesting action, as I'm going to have to get up close, and after I've killed the target, I'm going to have to bolt it back. So I'm really going to experience what it's like for them people of World War II when they're fighting up close in the buildings. The only problem is, the enemies don't have automatic weapons. It's going to be a challenge. So I wanted to show you these few clips. This was where I really had to think on my feet to actually outsmart people in tactics. So we've got a guy at the window with an AEG. He could put down more fire. If I had my AK, I could have suppressed and moved up. But since I've got the Lee Enfield, it means I'm just going to have to relocate to another window and take him out from there. And this ends up with a very painful shot. So lean out from the window, and there he is. Straight in the dick. Now that was not purposeful, but it didn't look very pleasant. His mate takes me out shortly after that, and now we're moving on to another building of situation. Reaction lets me win the situation there, but there is a buddy of his, and there's no way I can suppress him back into that cover, so I'm going to have to use a fake grenade and then push down the corridor. So he's pushed back into the room, and this doesn't allow me to move up, put one into him, and I can continue to clear. Little things like that really allowed you to get the advantage with the Lee Enfield. If you go head to head with someone with an AEG, you're not going to come out on top. Checking this corridor, it's pitch black. There's a guy with a torch at the other end there, so I'm going to try to whip out and take him out with a shot. There we go. Hopping back through this window, the plan is to flank around and get him in the back once again. But I take him and he hits me at the same time. Now moving on to a final little clip of a situation. This is a building storm that wasn't really that good because there was no kills in it in such the Lee Enfield. It was just a very fast storm, lots of grenades going off, lots of fun, pushing guys out of rooms using the grenades themselves. So we've got guys talking up on the staircase above, prep a secondary grenade. I'm going to talk to the player after this. He said apparently it hit him on the head when I threw it. I fire a round off just to make sure, see if there's any movement. Grenade goes up. Goes off on the landing there. Push around. And now I'm upstairs. Everyone's panicking because I'm up here, but they don't know I've got an absolutely rubbish bolt action rifle. So to get into that next area, we did have to use another grenade. Push into this area once again after the grenade goes off. They're trying to suppress me back into the door. I'm going to edge around, almost clip the guy. You see the pellet fall out the end of my gun there. And at the time I was quite confused. I was like, why am I not hitting this guy? So you'll see his elbow pop up out on the side of the corner here. But there's actually nothing in the gun at this point in time. And I got killed by the guy on the right. Anyway, let's thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.